to see people who were homeless in America begging by the roadside. I was like, is this America? Yeah. So it was a culture shock to me. All right, guys, today let's talk about culture shock. Okay, when you come to America for the first time as an African, you are going to experience culture shock. Even some people from Eastern Europe, people from Europe overall, sometimes when they come to America, they experience culture shock. People from Asia, they come to America, they experience culture shock. So what is this culture shock? Culture shock is the feeling of uneasiness that you feel because you are experiencing a new culture that is not familiar to you. Okay, let me give you an example. It's like going to a new place and then seeing them do certain things that you people don't do in your culture, and then you look at it and it is funny to you, it looks weird to you, or there's something that you do in your culture and then you come to maybe America, they don't do them. So what are some of the things? So guys, I'm just going to share my own experience, and you can also share yours in the comment section. So one of the things that was a culture shock to me was when I came to America, I assumed that many Americans have at least traveled outside America. Like I thought, because America is a rich place, so people here would have traveled outside to experience the rest of the world a little bit. Because I thought if you have money, traveling shouldn't be a problem to you, right? Well, I was surprised. There are a lot of Americans who have never even been on an airplane before. That was a shock to me. To me, from where I was coming from, if you don't have money, it's poor people who haven't been on a plane. So hearing that and seeing that in America, I was shocked. Another thing that was a culture shock to me too was panhandlers. Panhandlers are people who are holding like maybe a sign, holding a pan, standing by the stop sign junction, asking people for money. Oh, just give me 25 cents, a quarter. Give me 50 cents. Oh, I'm hungry. I only need money to buy beer. I need money to buy chicken wings. It was a culture shock to me because I didn't expect to see people who were homeless in America begging by the roadside. I was like, is this America? Yeah. So it was a culture shock to me. Another thing is that when you Americans, you are interacting with them, they can give you something with their left hand. Me, as an African, or as a Ghanaian, maybe some African culture, they might do that. As a Ghanaian and a Kan lady, we don't use the left hand in interacting with people because the left hand is used in doing, has bad energy. You use it to wipe back the, like hold tissue to, and not using your own hand. But so we don't use the left hand to give something to somebody. Like if somebody wants you to give them something, hand a book, a pen, something to them because it's close to you. Even if this hand is busy, you have to, if you're going to use your left hand to take it, you have to use your right hand to support it, to give to the person. You don't use your left hand to greet anybody. Even small children, sometimes if you want to greet them, then they will use their left hand. In my culture, they will slap your hand. No, use the right hand, because right hand is the one you use to interact with people. Left hand, you don't. In America, it doesn't matter which hand is hand. Okay? All right. One other culture shock was that I found out that not many Americans like taking bath. I beg. Social media, when you're social media, you will get a different verdict. A lot of Americans don't shower 2 times a day. Some people think that, they said, hey, if your skin, when you shower too much, your skin will become, it's like, what is wrong in bathing 2 times? 2 times a day is not too much now. So why is it if you bath too much and what too much? 2 times is not too much in a day, right? Well, a lot of Americans don't shower. And the interesting thing is that there's someone think that people from other cultures are not clean. They're the ones who don't bath twice. People from other cultures who bath 2 times are not clean. So for me, it was weird to me. Let's go to another thing. One thing that I found very, that was a culture shock to me, that, you know, in America, when somebody invites you for a dinner, you don't go with your empty stomach. You must bring something. You must bring something. Don't go with just your stomach. You must bring something for the dinner. Don't come and just eat and go. So that was something weird, because it's like in Ghana, if you invite me for a party, I'm just coming, dressing up and coming with my empty stomach and coming to eat, right? In America, no, you must bring something to add to the food that they are going to. So it's either maybe you bring some drinks, if they need maybe plates, paper plates, right? That too is another thing. You bring paper plates or fork and knife, like disposable ones, water, something. But you cannot just show up with your stomach and empty hands, right? Unless they tell you that it's okay, don't bring anything, we are fine. Even sometimes when they say that you still might bring you should bring something, right? And then talking about food, I found this also weird. When you visit an American and you bring food, or when an American visits you and bring food to you, they will share the food for everybody to eat some. You don't get to go and put it in your fridge and lock it, right? I know, like in Ghana, for instance, when you go and visit somebody and you bring some stuff, sometimes they will take it, they will pour it into another bowl and clean your bowl and give to you to take back. In America, they don't do it that way. If I come to visit you and I cook rice and brought it there, and you too, it is a dinner time, you must share the food and give me even some to eat. Because you are not assuming that when I finish cooking, I sat home and ate some, right? But in Ghana, if I come and visit you and I bring food, sometimes the person assumes that, oh, I'm sure you have plenty in your house, that's why I brought this. So they will pour the food maybe into another container and clean yours and give to you. So you may not end up eating your own food. In America, you must share the food for everybody there, including the one who brought the food, to eat some. So that was something weird. But it's a good thing, right? Another culture shock that I found was that when an American is going to eat your food that they are not familiar with, they smell it before they eat it. Me, as a Ghanaian, if I'm giving you food and you smell it before you eat it, I'll be very offended. Because sometimes, you know, our food, sometimes you have more money, Kobe. It has, you know, some of the things that we use to make our food. Sometimes we intentionally make it rot a little bit. Make it, you know, so that it will give you, you know, the pungent smell or something like that. So when people are smelling our food, it's like you should already be smelling the food. You should get the aroma long time. You don't need to bring it close to your nose. So when you do that, we get offended. If you're an African, we get offended when people smell your food. But in America, it's a normal thing to do. They'll smell the food before they eat it. So if you're an African and you come to America and people smell your food, don't be offended. That's how they are. All right. And then one thing too that I realized is that when you go visit somebody, you know, in Africa, it is normal thing that when you go and visit somebody and they have children, you buy bread, you buy something and bring to them. In America, it is not the normal practice. If you want to buy something, you actually buy for the parents. Okay, maybe you bring a bottle of wine, maybe you bring chocolate, maybe you bring some, you know, some nuts, mix, stuff like that for their parents, not the children. Because, you know, here children may have a lot of allergies and things, so you don't bring things for people's children. But if the person, you know them very well, let's say they are your very, very, very good friends, then maybe you might buy a toy, but not food. You have to be very careful when giving people's children food, candies, things that you think that, oh, it's harmless. No, a lot of children here in America may have some health stuff that it is in your best interest not to give people's children food until their parents approve of it, right? So when you're going to visit somebody, don't bring food for the children, anything that they will eat for the children, unless this is a close friend of yours and you both understand it. She understands that that's what you do and she's been okay with it, else they will embarrass you. Okay. The other thing too is that an American, you will call an American your friend, but their friendship is a little different. Okay. An American, you will treat a person as your friend, but they may not see you as a friend. Your American friend may go out with you, and when she sees a boyfriend, when she gets a guy, let's say you are two single ladies, you are an African and an American, you've gone to a party, you are two single ladies, the American sees a guy that she likes, and you don't have a car to get home. The American drove you there, and she gets a boyfriend, she will leave you there. You better find ways you will get back home. But if the person were an African, the African will say that, please, I came with my friend, I cannot leave her here. I need to make sure she can get home. I'm the one who brought her here. The African will make sure that they will take you home, or you are able to get home. An American, no. If they get something, you go out with the person might leave you there. So that was something that I found with like American friendship. You know, people you think they are your friends, they might not be really. The way we do friendships back in Africa, Americans, you know, don't do that. Another thing that was like really a culture shock for me, but it was good one, was that most Americans, they own up to their mistakes. Most Americans, let's say an American has done something, they were hoping to get away with it, and you still caught them. The person will say, you know what, I think I deserve it. An American will say, I deserve it. Oh, my bad, you know, okay, you know what, you win. An American will be fighting with you, and they see that you are beating them, they will give up. They know that, okay, the person has beaten me. No, an African will fight and fight and fight, even if they are losing. It's like an American, for me, an American will know that, okay, now it's time for me to just quit what I'm doing. This person has won. An African, they cheated me, they did this to me, they did that to me. So I think for that part, I'm really thankful for being able to experience this in America. Your boss may make a mistake and apologize to his subordinates and tell you, oh, I'm sorry, that was my mistake. That was my mistake. In Africa, you may never hear I'm sorry from your boss, ever. In some of our cultures in Africa, they say adult does not make mistake. Adult is never wrong, right? An elder is never wrong. So even if the person makes mistakes, they cannot admit publicly. Can you imagine? But in America, I'm not saying everybody. Occasionally you meet one, you know, individuals who may have their own attitude, but overall, majority of Americans, when they know they have messed up, they will face up to it and say that, my bad, I did this, it was my mistake, sorry, I did this. Even if it's your father will say that, oh, I'm sorry, I apologize. Your mother will apologize. You as an African, when was the last time your mom apologized to you? Now it is changing, you know. But I'm saying now that it's changing in some parts of Africa, some parts of the developing countries. But I'm saying that America, it is a normal thing. Okay, so the fact that maybe you are in Ghana now, you are raising your children, and when you do something that is not right, you tell your children, you apologize to them. It doesn't mean that it is the norm in Africa. You are now practicing something new. America, it is the norm. All right. So guys, like I said, I can go on and on and on. So let me know which things that are like you found weird and interesting here, and if you have experienced anything that made you shocked, that was like, we don't do this in our country but they do it here, please put it in the comment section below. Let me see, let's hear from you. What are things, whether it's wherever you have traveled around, is it to another country that you experience something and you're like, hey, in my own country we don't do this? Share it in the comment section, and please, when you share, don't forget to let us know where exactly that experience took place. Because you know, when you say, oh, in this country they don't do this, and you don't mention the name of the place, we may not be able to, you know, associate it with the right place. So do that. All right. So guys, thank you so much for watching this video, and I hope that it brightens your day. If this is your first time here, please subscribe to my YouTube channel, Ofoyi TV. Follow me on Facebook. On Facebook too, you can subscribe. All right, if you can, please subscribe. But guys, thank you so much for your time. I love you, and I'll see you on my next video. Bye bye.